Hey everybody, this is James. How you all doing? And welcome back to Characters Face Off episode 11. Happy New Year, and I hope you guys had a great New Year and a wonderful Merry Christmas. I'm sure you guys had a great time. And for today's episode of Characters Face Off is going to be a fight between two characters from the world of kaiju. It's going to be Godzilla versus Ultraman. So for this episode, we are going to be using Godzilla and Ultraman from their original Japanese media while we look at every version of these characters. Besides the outside what's that called? Reinforcements, I guess. So that means the Monsterverse and TriStar will not be included. So who's gonna win this fight? Let's find out. So first we're gonna talk about Godzilla. So as we know, Godzilla is the main monster of the Godzilla franchise. Since the time of the dinosaurs, a giant prehistoric creature lay a doormat at the bottom of the ocean, until in 1954, Americans tested their hydrogen bombs in the Pacific Ocean, destroying everything: men, women, children, environments, and certain countries. And then what happened was it awoke something, and then it was mutated in the process. And this creature would be known as Godzilla. So ever since, Godzilla has made Japan his home, leaving the waste of destruction wherever he goes, destroying cities and armies that tried to stop him. But he seems to protect the planet from other monsters, whatever is in danger. Like he fights other monsters like King Ghidorah, Gigan, and Mechagodzilla, and he's even teamed up with some other monsters like Anguirus, Rodan, and Mothra. So now let's talk about one of his powers, abilities, and feats. So Godzilla's iconic ability is his atomic breath, which could superheat and destroy cars, steel towers, tanks, bridges, planes, helicopters, and he can also use it while he fights other monsters. Godzilla also has the magnetic power after he got struck by lightning and makes the towers get stuck into his body, and he's even able to use it to pull Mechagodzilla to rip his head off in the Showa era of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. The burning Godzilla form, which would take on after absorbing a massive amounts of radiation to the point of becoming a giant-sized atom bomb, and his burning form was 500,000 degrees, which, yeah, that's pretty crazy there. He also has some sharp dorsal planes. He has uncanny durability. He has godly strength, which he was strong enough to carry other monsters, especially Kaiser Ghidorah in Godzilla Final Wars. And he can breathe underwater since he has gills, just like sharks and other fishes. Now, Godzilla has 44 victories. He survived an escape a black hole. He was regenerated from the beating heart. He battled Rodan for over 12 hours. He survived an absolute zero cannon. And he lived and through Kaiser Ghidorah, and he's even fought the Fantastic Four and the Avengers in the comics, which, yeah, that's officially true. And he even defeated 10 monsters in a row in Godzilla Final Wars. But despite what some Godzilla fans say, oh, he's invincible. That's not true. He's not. He does have weaknesses. Because he's very sensitive to light, he's actually pretty slow because due to his size. And despite being the king, he actually tends to be one of the clumsiest monsters in history. He has officially lost a fight against King Kong, Mothra, and, I'm not kidding, the basketball player Charles Barkley. Twice. His gills is his weak spot. He's vulnerable to strong structures of electricity, and he was officially killed by the Oxygen Destroyer and the second Mechagodzilla. And the powerful weapons can easily kill him, despite that he can take it. And he even got sliced by Gigan, causing him to bleed in Godzilla vs. Gigan. And he has died at least 4 times. But overall, Godzilla is the king of the monsters and the king of the Japanese cinema. And he's always an icon when it comes to the kaiju world of giant monsters. Okay, now it's time for us to talk about Ultraman. Now, Ultraman is the main Japanese superhero in the Ultraman series. Insanely, a basic Ultra soldier from the Land of Light and the Nebula of M78. Ultraman has arrived on Earth while pursuing an escape of the monster graveyard, Belmar. In his pursuit, he accidentally collided with Shin Hayata, an officer of the Science Patrol who was on a scouting mission in his jet. Hayata was killed in the same crash, but out of the remorse, the Ultraman actually gave Hayata his own life and merged their bodies to keep him alive. After Belmar was destroyed, Ultraman stayed to protect Earth from more threats such as ancient monsters and alien invaders. And through the years, Ultraman has protected the Earth from many monsters and aliens alongside his fellow Ultra brothers that are just like him. So now it's time to talk about his powers, abilities, and feats. So Ultraman can see beyond visible spectrum, perhaps the entire spectrum. He has an ultra durable skin armor, which can grant him with different immunities. He's immune to electricity, which he actually got hit by electricity, but he survived to take it. He's also resistant against heat. He's resistant against his own spectrum ray. His resistance is against some of the force of the atomic explosion, resistant against some chemical weathering. And Ultraman has a shield called the Ultra Barrier, which we can actually use it with his fingers to block from attacks, and to deflect and reflect any type of attacks that he fights other monsters. Ultraman also has the ability to emit the stream of water from his right hand when he places on his other hand above it, which he can actually get rid of the fire, just like what the firefighters do with their water hose. Now Ultraman can cross his hands to deflect attacks with the blue stone Baraji, and Ultraman can cross through the dimensional when Ultraman can fly. And he also has this powerful attack called the Spectrum Ray, which he can actually fire the beam from his right hand that can destroy monsters with one hit. Kind of like how Saitama was able to eliminate someone with one punch. Now, Ultraman also has other attacks like the Ultra Ray, Ultra Slash, Slash Shield, Slash Ray, Air Catch, the Catch Rings, and Physical Willpower. And he's also very skilled in combat when it comes, because he was training and fighting monsters. Because Ultraman and his brothers and his family are very skilled warriors and skilled fighters, kind of like the Power Rangers. Now, Ultraman has defeated 48 opponents. He is capable of lifting a 100,000-ton tanker and bench pressing 200,000 tons. He flies a nuke from Earth into deep space just in 10 seconds and came back so quickly that nobody noticed it, that he actually came back when he entered the atmosphere. He can take on multiple opponents at once. He ripped off the Jerris neck frill, which is actually a monster that looks like Godzilla. Not even kidding. They actually used the Godzilla costume to make him look like an Ultraman monster, but that's basically a Godzilla suit in the Ultraman series. He ripped off Gabriel's metal head plates. He defeated his own evil clone twice. He defeated the King Demon, and he even survived an atomic bomb and a planet blowing up, and he's team up with other Ultras. But there are some weaknesses of his, because while as with the other Ultra Warriors, Ultraman's weaknesses is that he needs a solar energy. The Earth's atmosphere weakens the Ultraman the longer they stay, because Ultraman can stay on Earth for at least 3 minutes, because it naturally flatters out of the majority of light and that reaches its surface. He's unable to withstand the extreme cold, and despite his strength, Ultraman wasn't even tough enough to carry the Skydome, which is a monster that weighs about 200,000 tons. But overall, despite his flaws, Ultraman is a defender of the universe, and he's a great superhero in Japan, and you can count on him to save the day from other agent monsters and alien invaders. Alright, so now it's time for me to talk about who would win. Now I know this might be like one of the most controversial episodes in the series, because I know many people are going to disagree with me on this, but I think this fight will be really fun to see, seeing the King of the Monsters taking on the Japanese superhero. So in terms of who I think is going to win, I think I have to give this fight to Ultraman. Now, guys. Now, before you bash me in the comments down below, let me explain why I think Ultraman wins. While yes, Godzilla is a powerful giant monster in Japanese cinema, and his atomic breath is the most deadliest weapon in history, Ultraman's powers, can actually mess you up. Don't let his appearance fool you, because Ultraman is actually really good with his powers, and he actually has the ability to slice a monster's body parts, and he can actually do that. And Ultraman is actually much more faster, and he has more agility and durability, and he's actually quick. And yes, while Godzilla has known for taking on other monsters, and he actually has durability, Godzilla just usually just feels really clumsy, and he's basically not the fastest monster, despite that he can catch up with other monsters. But Ultraman has the speed advantage over Godzilla, and Ultraman has fought opponents that are like Godzilla, and he's even fought opponents that has atomic breath before. So that could actually will give Ultraman the edge to win. Now I know a lot of people say, "Oh, but Godzilla fights dirty," you know, and Ultraman doesn't. Correct. Godzilla does fight dirty, but Ultraman, on the other hand, he does fight dirty when things get serious. And while Godzilla's burning form can actually blow up the entire planet, Ultraman actually did survive something similar to that. So Ultraman basically has the agility, durability. He has more combat experience. His powers is actually just 10 times crazy. And yeah, Godzilla has powers that are just crazy too. But Ultraman has even taken on multiple monsters, and taking on more monsters, you know, just as much as Godzilla does. And while Godzilla has his atomic breath, Ultraman can use his shield, can like deflect Godzilla's atomic breath. And he even can carry Godzilla with his laser things that he can actually shoot from his hands. And yeah, both of them has like the flight ability, which I forgot to mention that Godzilla does have this weird ability where he can actually like fly with his atomic breath in Godzilla versus Hedorah, which, yeah, that's pretty freaking weird. But Ultraman has everything that I think he would able to take down the king of the monsters. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not downplaying on Godzilla. He is a good monster. I know he's very popular, but and I know, yeah, Godzilla is cool. I like Godzilla as well. I like both of these characters, but I feel like Ultraman's powers can actually mess Godzilla up, and Godzilla has been cut before. He's just overall better, and he's actually the better fighter. So, I'm sorry, Godzilla fans, but Ultraman is taking this. He's coming off victory, and Godzilla's throne is over. Ultraman wins. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys really enjoy my channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications. And I hope you guys had a wonderful Happy New Year. I'm sure I had a Happy New Year as well. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much for giving me 108 subscribers. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate the support. And yeah, there's not much I can say, so feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I think that's all I can say. So stay tuned for the next episode of Characters Face Off, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video. All right, take care.
River made of fire through a street that's paved with bones. I got a dozen zombie skeletons to walk me to my throne. In the land of the dead, and boy ain't it grand. I'm the overlord of the underworld, 'cause I hold horror's hand. In the land of the dead, I'm dark side royalty. I'm far renowned in the underground, and you can't take that away from me. No, you can't take that from me.